Sports Time and Dave Day here on Community NEPA News with Dave Seaman, Standard Speaker Sports Editor. I'm Ken Kara, Sports Director here at SSP TV. And Dave, usually every week I say we have a lot to get to, so let's jump right in it. We really don't have a lot to get to, but we do have a lot to talk about. Sports nationally, really, and here locally have come to a standstill, except our John Eric Polai behind the camera pointing out the UFC. They're still going, but let's start locally. So the state basketball playoffs, we had Monowi area girls still in, Tamaqua boys still in the playoffs for 2 weeks. They said let's postpone that and the AA swimming meet. We have 2 local swimmers there as well. Reevaluate after 2 weeks, and then the school's announcing that they'll be shut down for 14 days, so no sports activities there, Dave. You did a great piece over the weekend. It was on Sunday in the Standard Speaker. Go to standardspeaker.com. You can read it. You spoke with 2 local athletic directors. I think Hazelton area softball and baseball coach, one of the softball players, just talking to them about this. What impressions did you get from everyone? I'm sure they're excited to go, but kind of understand the circumstances that we're in right now with the coronavirus. I
thought Hazelton area softball coach Bob Bertoni made a great point when he said, you know, you can't worry about the things you can't control. I mean, it sounds like a simple concept, but you know, a lot of times we're in a hurry to get things done in this day and age, and I forget what Coach told me one time. They call it the microwave society. You want to put something in the microwave, get it done, your food's ready in a minute, and that's how we live our lives. That we expect that next thing to be done so we can get on with that task and move on to the next and so forth. This kind of puts all that to a halt, and you can't really control what happens, in the world. You don't have control over everything. As athletes, you tend to think they do. Coaches do, over their teams, and that cycle goes on. But when you have a situation like this, a worldwide pandemic, you're under the grips of it, and there's nothing you can do.
Well, you made an interesting point that we'll get to. I want to play this soundbite. I did speak with Tamaqua Area Athletic Director Mike Romiak, and he took a few moments. We record these on Monday. That's when I spoke with him, so that's the latest information we had was on Monday. But I asked him, Dave, about if he had the chance to speak with the student athletes, in his district or really anywhere, what advice would he give them and what would he say to them? And here's what he had to say.
Keep in game shape, because you never know. I mean, on your own, these kids can go out and run, throw a baseball with a brother or neighbor or something like that, and try and stay in shape. That I'm sure that when if we can get back to normalcy and our practices begin to continue, I can't imagine that we're going to be playing games the next day. We're it's sort of like an injury timeout where you gotta take the time to warm back up or anything along those lines, and hopefully we got to get together as a league in the Schuylkill League and figure out what direction we're going in as far as baseball and softball. But yeah, it's these kids got to stay positive, and I do feel bad for any of the teams that are still competing in the winter state championships, whether it's a swimmer or our basketball team, for example. And it's hopefully they're outside. Fortunately we had a good spring, and they're outside playing their sport, so to speak.
So, Dave, so many unknowns, and Mike's saying right there, stay in game shape. We don't know, and get together. They'll get together as a Schuylkill League. I'm sure, people will be getting together, superintendents, the governor at the state level. There's a lot going on right now. But the interesting thing you said, Dave, I said, we talk with these athletes so much, and we see how much they care and how much they put into this. We see the tears when, after a championship is lost or after a season or a career is over, and we know all the hard work they put in. And I said, it's sad that there's a possibility they might not be able to get out there. But you said they're also very mature. They understand what's going on.
You get somebody like a Marissa Tribalpiece, for example, who has given her heart and soul to everything, to her basketball teammates at Hazelton Area High School and softball, made 2 state final runs. And this is her last chance to win a state championship at the high school level too. And to have that delayed, yeah, she said it's horrible, and but what can you do? And you just have to roll with the punches. That's all. My dad always has that famous saying, roll with the punches and see what happens, because that's all really you can do.
And Dave, it's almost like we're all a team right now. We see how these teams always handle the adversity when they're together, and it's kind of like we all are that right now. We all need everybody. We need good captains like athletes to look up to and lead us and that, but we're all in this kind of together. And sports, Dave, they do bring us together. It's unfortunate we don't have them right now, but I just keep thinking once we get through this, that first game, that first moment is going to feel so good.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to 9/11 too, which I guess is the closest example that we have. Like when sports stopped, then it was was kind of, like, yeah, we had to grieve as a community, as a nation, and we were all heartbroken, obviously, by that tragedy. But then once sports started too, they were our outlet. That's what we needed at that time, and sports will have its place. Sports will be back. We all hope sooner rather than later too. But when they come back, we're going to welcome them with open arms, and it'll be our outlet once again. We can celebrate again, we can grieve again, but for right now, let's just put it all on hold.
Yeah, all in this team, all in this together. So let's stick together. Let's all stay strong. And when you have the chance, read Dave's article from Sunday. It was absolutely phenomenal about talking to some spring coaches and some of the players as well about where we're at right now, how the coronavirus is affecting everybody. Dave, thank you for your time, and take it easy, everyone.